Pomeranians always make those lists of the smartest toy braids for a reason. They are incredibly clever little dogs with these huge, vivacious personalities. They pick up tricks so fast it'll make your head spin. But you have to remember, even though they're tiny, they have the heritage of big sled dogs. That gives them this bold, independent intellect that we all love, but it's intense. It's not just about following orders with them. They have this spirited, alert way of thinking. They were bred to be companions and watchdogs, so they are constantly analyzing everything around them. They watch you, they figure things out, and they communicate what they find. That is just who they are. But here's the thing. That sharp mind and big dog attitude can be a total nightmare for first-time owners. Since they're so smart, they spot weaknesses in your training immediately. If you're a lenient owner, they will absolutely manipulate you. They get bored with dull repetition really fast, or they'll use that insane cuteness to get out of following rules they don't like. So housebreaking a pom, it demands a strategy that is gentle, sure, but you have to be rock-solid firm. Positive reinforcement is your golden ticket here. These affectionate little fluff balls thrive on praise. They crave that deep connection with you. You need to start housebreaking the absolute second that tiny puppy walks through your front door. The golden window for learning is usually between 8 and 12 weeks old. During that time, a puppy's brain is basically a sponge. They soak up routines and rules so fast it's scary. Because they are in such a vital developmental stage, habits, both the good ones and the bad ones, can take root almost instantly. Starting immediately sets the ground rules from day one in their new territory. Teaching a toy breed to go outside is a massive test of patience, but kicking it off right away makes the whole journey so much smoother. If you delay this education, you're letting your Pomeranian develop a preference for peeing on your rugs. And let me tell you, that is incredibly difficult to fix later on. But hey, don't be too early. The best time to start formal training is when your puppy is around 8 weeks old. Before that milestone, they physically don't have the bladder control or the mental focus. You won't get consistent results. Trying to run rigorous training before their little bodies are ready, that just leads to frustration for you and the dog. The first move in your strategy is picking a specific zone for them to do their business. You have to enforce this from the very first day. Carry your puppy to this spot immediately when you get home. Ideally, this should be outside, like a corner of your garden. Picking a permanent bathroom area is the pillar of success for a routine-loving, stubborn breed like the Pom. It lowers their anxiety, makes cleaning up easier for you, and keeps the rest of your yard sanitary. When you keep going back to that specific spot, the scent of their previous accidents acts as a biological trigger. It prompts them to go again. The area you choose should be quiet. You have to weigh a few factors here. Accessibility and convenience are probably the most critical things. Pick a spot you can get to in seconds from your main door. Make sure you can access it year-round, regardless of snow or rain, which can be super daunting for small dogs. The type of surface you choose plays a huge role, too. For Poms, short grass is usually the favorite. Since they are low to the ground, tall grass feels like a jungle and tickles their bellies, which they hate. That scent on the grass is a natural trigger. Alternatively, smooth garden mulch or wood chips can work well. Pea gravel is another option because it drains well and cleans easily. But you have to check that your Pom's tiny paws can handle the rough texture. For those of you in apartments with balconies, artificial grass is a practical, modern alternative. Premium pet turf drains efficiently and is easy to wash down. When you're picking a location, think about shelter and privacy. Poms are small and they lose body heat fast. A spot shielded from strong wind, heavy rain, or baking sun is vital. Plus, a secluded area helps a distractible puppy focus on the job. It's also smart to think about noise. Avoid areas right next to busy streets or loud neighbors. Poms are alert watchdogs, and they might be too busy barking to relieve themselves. You must keep this location static. Do not confuse the dog by changing spots with the seasons. Puppies are just like infants. They arrive with zero concept of where they should or shouldn't go. It falls on you to teach them that one patch of earth is for toileting, your carpets are off limits. Since everything is new to the puppy, establishing these rules immediately is easier. They'll just accept them as the law of the land. Be consistent. Do not alter the designated location. Once you've got the spot, your next job is to show your Pomeranian that this zone is their bathroom. A critical guideline is to celebrate the moment they finish their business in the right place. You need to use a jubilant, high-pitched tone. Say things like, "Yes, good potty, what a good puppy." Follow that praise instantly with a premium treat. Use something exquisite that is reserved solely for this success. This rapid positive feedback is your strongest asset. It forges a direct link in their brain. Peeing on the grass results in delicious snacks and happiness. This transforms a boring biological necessity into a rewarding game. This intense positive association clarifies exactly what you want, 1 or 2 seconds of the puppy finishing. Dogs live entirely in the now. If you wait until you're back in the kitchen, they'll think they're being rewarded for walking inside. They won't connect it to the act they did outside. You must utilize a high-value reward that is exclusive to potty success. Offering a standard piece of dry food just won't cut it. It won't be enough incentive for a Pomeranian to hold their tiny bladder and brave the outdoors. They could just go on the rug otherwise. Think small pieces of boiled chicken, cheese, or freeze-dried liver. You want something that makes the puppy think, "I must earn that." Building a rigid, reliable timeline is the absolute bedrock of potty training a small, energetic breed like the Pomeranian. These dogs find comfort in patterns. Knowing what comes next helps them feel secure. A steady routine creates a rhythm for their bodily functions. It reduces the risk at indoor messes and builds confidence. A puppy's existence should follow a structured loop of sleeping, playing, learning, dining, and relieving themselves. Regularity helps synchronize their digestion, which makes it much easier to guess when they need to go. Sticking to set meal times is a vital part of this framework. If your puppy eats at the exact same hour every day, their bowel movements will become clockwork. This simplifies your schedule immensely. Feed them 2 to 3 times daily, but strictly at the same hours. Avoid leaving a full bowl out all day. Free feeding leads to random, unpredictable elimination needs. By regulating the input, you effectively manage the timing of the output. Your daily plan must pivot around 5 critical, non-negotiable potty break times. First, immediately upon waking. This is the #1 most predictable time a puppy needs to go. As soon as your palm stirs from a night's sleep or a nap, you must carry them straight to their bathroom zone. Do not let their feet touch the floor until they are outside. Second, go shortly after every meal. Food intake triggers the gastrocolic reflex, which stimulates the digestive tract. Because Pomeranians have small systems and fast metabolisms, they will often need to poop within 10 to 30 minutes of eating. Third, go after every play or training session. Zoomies, wrestling, and learning commands stimulate the bladder. Once the fun stops, a calm walk to the potty spot is mandatory. Fourth, take them out before being left alone. Always offer a chance to empty the tank before placing your puppy in their crate. This ensures they are comfortable and sets them up to succeed at holding it. Fifth, go right before bedtime. This is the final chance to clear the system for the night. Make this trip the very last action before lights out. Besides these regular potty breaks, some people recommend keeping a log. This is especially helpful in the beginning. Record the times your puppy eats, drinks, naps, plays, and goes potty. This data will reveal their unique biological rhythm. Write the schedule down and post it on the fridge. Consistency is everything here. The entire family must adhere to the plan. If one person allows the puppy to roam unsupervised after dinner, it can undo days of progress. Everyone in the household must be on the same page regarding the schedule and the command words used. Let's get real about the night shift, because this is where battles are won. You need a solid game plan or you're gonna lose your mind. First off, we gotta build a ritual to empty that tiny bladder. Here's the big secret. Cut the food and water 2 hours before bed. Seriously, just take it away. If they aren't drinking, they aren't peeing while you sleep. It drastically lowers the odds of waking up to a wet crate. It's simple math. Now, what about that last hour before you hit the hay? Chill out with the roughhousing and put the squeaky toys away. Switch from zoomies to cuddle time to lower that heart rate. You want them sleepy, not wired. Now, let's talk crates because you absolutely need one. Dogs are den animals, right? They naturally hate sleeping in their own mess. Put that crate right next to your bed for now. You need to hear them if they whimper. Plus, they feel safer smelling you nearby. Just accept the harsh reality here. A tiny 8-week-old Pom cannot hold it for 8 hours. It's physically impossible. You're gonna be doing late-night potty runs. Sorry, but it's true. Keep it strictly business though. Lights low, voice soft, and zero play. Do not make it a party. In the beginning, don't wait for them to cry. Be proactive. If you crash at 11, set an alarm for 3 in the morning. Beat them to the punch. It stops bedwetting and shows them you're the boss of the clock. It lays the groundwork for a house-trained dog. It is brutal, but it works. These little guys are smart and they love to talk. Your Pom has a way of telling you they gotta go. It's like an urgent notification popping up on your phone. You just have to learn to read it. Rush them out the second you see the signs. Mastering your dog's specific language is the whole ballgame. As they get older, they get sneaky with it. You've gotta be a detective. Watch for the intense sniffing. That's a classic move. They start hunting for that perfect spot to relieve themselves. If they stop playing and glue their nose to the floor, run. Then there's the circling. We call it the spin cycle. They spin in tight circles to trample down the grass. It's an old instinct. If you see it on your rug, you're in trouble. Watch for restlessness too. If they can't get comfy, they're feeling the pressure. They might pace back and forth or look anxious. Suddenly halting play is another big one. You throw a toy and they just freeze. That's the 1,000-yard stare. They just realize they have an emergency. Watch out if they try to sneak off. If they vanish behind the sofa, it's not for hide and seek. They are looking for a bathroom away from their bed. Clever Poms will actually look at you. They stare at you, then glance at the door. Listen for a specific whine or bark. A potty bark sounds way different than a play bark. Sometimes they get physical. They might nudge your leg or paw at your hand. That is a desperate plea for help. The biggest red flag is squatting. Females drop low and little males might squat too. If backs are arching, you have seconds. Scoop them up immediately. Interrupting them is better than scrubbing the carpet. You'll learn their quirks soon enough. Every dog is different. It just takes time to learn your companion. You will eventually catch every single signal. I love bell training because it is such a game changer. It bridges the gap between their bladder and your brain. It stops the guessing game. You know, wondering why your dog is just staring at you? It gives them a voice. You just need some bells and some really good treats. Get sleigh bells to hang on the door, or a little floor button for those tiny paws. Just make sure it isn't too loud. You don't want to scare the poor thing. It's all about classical conditioning, like Pavlov, right? You link the sound to the door opening. Start by ringing it yourself every time you go out. Encourage them to touch it with their nose. Treat them the second they touch it. Eventually, you open the door as the reward. Finally, they have to ring it on their own to leave.
Give them a jackpot of treats when they go potty outside. Make it a huge party. Put the bells on the door you use the most, or put the buzzer right next to the frame. Make sure they can reach it without jumping. You don't want them straining. Then you just hammer home the habit. Every time you go out, ring the bell. Say, outside. Open the door and walk out. Boom. Bell plus command equals door opens. It reinforces that mental connection. Consistency is king here, folks. Everyone in the house has to be on board. You gotta respond instantly when that bell rings, especially at the start. It validates their effort. You also have to teach them it's not a room service bell. It is for potty trips only. No playing allowed. Look, this is the part that drives people crazy. Take a deep breath. Messes are going to happen. It's just part of the deal. Please understand they aren't doing it to spite you. They aren't trying to make you mad. It's usually just a mix-up in communication, or maybe a physical issue. Remember how small they are? A tiny palm puppy has zero bladder control. Here is a rule of thumb. They can hold it for 1 hour for every month of age. That's it. Expecting more is setting them up to fail. Sometimes the training just hasn't clicked yet. They haven't built that bridge in their brain. It takes hundreds of reps. If they were trained and suddenly start messing up, check for medical issues. It could be a bladder infection or stones. That stuff hurts. Kidney trouble can cause a crazy urge to go. Tummy bugs can make it impossible to hold it. If they have diarrhea or look sick, go to the vet. Do it immediately. Even with your best efforts, accidents are inevitable, especially in the beginning. It's standard puppy stuff. You just need to be mentally ready. Dig deep for that patience. You're gonna need a lot of it. Take it one day at a time. You will get there eventually. Managing accidents properly is just as critical as rewarding the victories. It's huge, especially with a breed as spirited and small as a Pomeranian. How you respond in these moments matters. It can either solidify their learning and deepen your bond, or it can totally mess things up. You could inadvertently instill anxiety that would derail your progress. It's a delicate balance. Should you catch your pom in the act, you must intervene instantly. Make a startling sound. Not terrifying, just startling. Like a sharp clap or a clear This interruption stops the behavior midstream. Immediately whisk them away to their designated bathroom area. Let them finish there. It is paramount to understand something. Your Pomeranian is not having an accident to spite you. They aren't being defiant. Usually, they are simply a young dog trying to figure out the system. Perhaps their tiny bladder couldn't wait. Or maybe you missed their subtle signals. You must never resort to shouting. Physical punishment is out. Rubbing their nose in the mess? Never. These archaic actions will only teach your dog to fear you. They will start to hide behind furniture when they need to relieve themselves. That makes the training process significantly harder. View every mishap as a chance to refine your strategy. Ask yourself what went wrong. Did too much time pass since the last break? Were their cues too subtle to catch? Did the accident happen during a high-risk time? Maybe it was right after a meal or a nap. To stop this from becoming a habit, increase the frequency of potty trips. Watch your dog like a hawk. Seriously, eyes on the dog. By reacting to accidents with a calm interruption, you win. Follow that with thorough sanitation. Use the event to tighten your schedule. You will successfully guide your clever Pomeranian to house training mastery. You'll keep your bond intact. It is absolutely vital to clean accidents thoroughly, yet many owners fail at this. Once a puppy soils a specific area, they leave a scent marker. It's invisible to humans, but to dogs, it's obvious. It instinctively draws them back to the same spot later. Relying on standard household detergents is a major mistake. They are simply not up to the task. Many general cleaners contain ammonia. Ammonia actually smells like urine to about. This potentially encourages them to mark the spot again. You're basically inviting them back. You must use an enzymatic cleaner. It needs to be specifically formulated to break down proteins. It has to destroy the proteins in urine. This completely removes the odor at the molecular level. If you skip this step, you're in trouble. Your Pomeranian's keen sense of smell will detect the lingering traces. They will identify the rug or corner as a valid bathroom. Even if the spot smells clean to you, it's not. Your puppy absolutely can smell what was left behind. Failing to use the right cleaner essentially guarantees repeat offenses. It's a waste of your time. Don't cheap out here. Get the right stuff. It saves your carpet, it saves your sanity, it helps the training stick.
Indoor potty pads are also known as training pads or wee-wee pads. They are a common consideration for owners. The decision ultimately rests on your particular lifestyle. It depends on your dog's requirements and your long-term training objectives. However, these indoor solutions are often less than ideal for a Pomeranian, especially if your ultimate goal is a well-behaved dog that goes outside. While they are marketed heavily to small breed owners living in apartments, be careful. They can introduce substantial long-term behavioral issues. Think about the conflicting signals. Relying on pads teaches your puppy that eliminating inside the home is acceptable. It's okay under certain conditions. This sends a mixed signal that undermines your primary goal of outdoor house training. Then there is the toy factor. A playful Pom puppy is likely to view the pad as a toy. It's crinkly, it's soft. They want to tear it to pieces rather than use it as a bathroom. Then you have surface preference. This method establishes a preference for soft things. The dog becomes accustomed to the soft feel of the pad. They may subsequently refuse to step on grass. Gravel or snow becomes scary. They won't do their business there. This preference can make transitioning to an outdoor-only routine incredibly difficult later on. While potty pads are generally discouraged for a standard Pomeranian training plan, they have a place. They serve as a necessary last resort in specific unavoidable situations. Their use is justified sometimes. Maybe immediate outdoor access is impossible, like in high-rise apartments, or owners have severe mobility issues. Safety could be a concern, like protecting an unvaccinated puppy in a high-risk area, or maybe during extreme weather events. In these limited circumstances, pads are used for management. They are not a substitute for proper training. For a smart little dog intended to be an outdoor companion, focus on the outdoors. It is far more effective. It is less puzzling. Focus all your energy on the outdoor spot from day one. To prevent confusing your puppy, keep it simple. There should be only one type of designated bathroom area that you use consistently. If there is a need for it, fine. And you have to use indoor potty pads for a Pomeranian, there are a few things you need to consider. As a toy breed known for their spunky attitude, they are unique. They have tiny bladders. Pomeranians need a setup that is absorbent. It must be secure enough to withstand their curiosity. While they don't produce the volume of a large dog, they go frequently. This means the pad must be quick drying. You want to prevent tracking urine across your floor. Durability is essential. Their playful nature may lead them to chew flimsy materials. They might shred them. Effective odor control is also crucial. You want to maintain a fresh-smelling home. Here are some of the best-rated options. These are the most suitable indoor potty pad options for your Pomeranian. I've categorized them by type for you. Heavy-duty disposable pads. These are a convenient potty solution for Pomeranians. They require superior absorbency. They need large sizing. Look at the pros. Ultimate convenience. You just toss and replace. No washing required. Excellent leak protection. Easy cleanup. But consider the cons. There is an ongoing long-term cost. There is a negative environmental impact. Some palms may be tempted to chew or shred them. If the material feels like paper, watch out. Washable potty pads, these offer an eco-friendly solution. They are cost-effective, they are more durable, they are resistant to shredding. Check the pros: long-term savings, sustainability, durability. It is harder for a puppy to destroy these. They are a popular choice for eco-conscious palm owners. But look at the cons. Higher initial investment. You have the commitment to frequent washing and drying. Proper laundering is essential. You have to prevent odors from being retained in the fabric over time. Innovative potty solutions. For an intelligent breed like the Pomeranian, look at these. Systems using real or synthetic grass can provide a more engaging experience. The pros are great. Natural textures and scents aid in training. It helps the transition to outdoors later. They offer excellent odor control. They are highly effective for surface preference training. But the cons exist. Higher upfront cost. Required regular cleaning of the tray system. Maintenance is real. Natural versions act as a subscription. You need periodic replacement. By understanding the specific needs of your Pomeranian, you win. Explore these high-quality options. You can find an indoor potty solution that works. It keeps both your dog and your home happy and clean. Look, before we dive in, let's tackle the big questions keeping you up at night. Is crate training actually required? And what's the point? I know. Some people hear crate and think cage. But hear me out. The American Kennel Club, they love it. They rank the crate super high as a potty training tool. Why? Because dogs are actually clean freaks at heart. They hate making a mess where they sleep. Even the Humane Society, I think they go by Humane World for Animals now, they say it's a crucial tool. It's not magic, obviously. You gotta use it right. And yeah, for some dogs it's a no-go, but generally, it's gold. Breeders, vets, trainers, we all recommend it. It works because of that primal den instinct. Your palm sees that crate as their personal bedroom, a sanctuary. Their biological wiring screams, "Don't poop in the bedroom," so it teaches them to hold that bladder until you let them out. Use it at night, use it when you leave the house, use it when you're in the shower or cooking dinner and can't have eyes on them. It slashes the odds of an accident to almost zero. It speeds up the learning process like crazy. Honestly, it's probably the single most valuable tool you've got for potty training a palm. It's direct, it's fast, and it's proven. But here is the big flashing warning sign. You have to be humane about this. Serious talk for a second. The crate is a management tool, never a punishment cell. Do not use it as a naughty corner. Leaving a puppy in there for hours on end, that's just cruel. It'll force them to soil their den, which totally ruins the training anyway. If you work a 9 to 5, you cannot leave your dog in there the whole time. You just can't. Get a walker, find a daycare, do something to give them a break. Now, let's talk communication. You need a consistent verbal command. Pick something simple like go potty or do business. Keep it short, keep it clear. Use it every single time so you don't scramble your puppy's brain. When you put your palm in their spot, or right when you see that little squat happening, say the words, go potty. Say it calmly. Keep your voice positive and sweet. And please, make sure the whole family is on the same page. If you say, go potty, and your husband says, do a tinkle, the dog is going to be confused. Linguistic consistency, people. Okay, brace yourselves. Just when you think you've nailed it, you're celebrating. You think you've mastered the housebreaking game. Then boom, your puppy pees on the rug. Again. Welcome to the regression period. It is absolutely maddening. But take a breath. It's a totally normal chapter in a puppy's life. It's rarely because they're being stubborn or willful. It's almost always developmental, medical, or something in the environment.
With POMs, setbacks usually come from specific triggers. First, the teenage phase. Adolescence hits between 6 and 12 months. Hormones go wild and they start testing boundaries. Then there's stress. Did you move? New baby? New work schedule? That disrupts their rhythm. Or maybe you gave them too much freedom. That's a big one. You trusted them too soon, took your eyes off them, and opened the door for mistakes. It spirals fast. Could be lingering scents, too. If you didn't scrub that old accident with an enzymatic cleaner, that smell is basically a neon sign saying, pee here. And don't rule out medical stuff. A sudden step back could be a UTI, bladder stones, or diabetes. So how do we handle this mess? First step, vet check. Absolute first thing. Small breeds get UTIs all the time. It hurts them and it makes them need to go constantly. You gotta rule out health issues before you try to fix behavior. If the vet says they're good, it's time to go back to basics. Inconsistency is usually the culprit here. We get lazy. We relax our vigilance after a few dry weeks. It happens. But to fix it, you gotta patiently rewind the clock. Treat them like they're 8 weeks old again. More supervised trips outside. Leash on, say your command. When they go outside, throw a party. High-value treats, huge praise. Make it worth their while. Inside, clean everything with that enzyme cleaner to reset the environment. Get your routine locked down tight. Exercise, mental stimulation, strict schedule. It kills the anxiety and builds good habits. I know regression feels like a massive failure. It's heartbreaking, but it's almost always a passing phase. A few days, maybe a few weeks. It's all about your patience. Stay consistent. You're just refreshing your clever dog's memory. They'll get it back. They will get back on track, I promise. But hey, if you're doing everything right and it's still happening, don't be a hero. Call a pro trainer or a vet behaviorist. There's no shame in asking for help. You got this. Listen, when your dog pees because they're scared or just way too happy, it's easy to think something's wrong with them. You might think they're acting out or trying to spite you. But scolding them? That's the worst thing you can do. It's gonna make it so much worse. You gotta realize these little leaks aren't potty training failures. Your POM isn't making some conscious choice to be difficult. They aren't being vindictive, I promise. It's just an automatic physical reaction to a huge spike in emotion. You have to understand, the dog isn't peeing on the floor on purpose. Whether they're terrified or just over the moon, they lose control. Their tiny sphincter muscles just give up for a split second. It happens. Now, submissive urination is basically a peace offering. It's your dog saying, "Hey, I'm not a threat. You're the boss. Please don't hurt me." It's a puppy instinct. They use it to show respect to the big dogs in the pack. Think of it as a white flag to surrender when they feel intimidated or scared. On the flip side, you've got excitement urination. This usually hits puppies or young dogs who just get way too thrilled. Their nervous systems are still cooking, so they can't regulate those bladder muscles yet. The sheer intensity of their happiness just overrides their body's ability to hold it. It's messy, but it's kind of sweet in the gross way. The golden rule here? Do not punish them. Seriously, don't do it. Scolding is only going to deepen your POM's anxiety and confusion. That just leads to more leaks, which nobody wants. Focus on prevention and management instead. Keep your greetings low-key. When you get home, ignore your dog for a few minutes until they calm down. Change your posture too. Get down on the floor so you aren't looming over them like a giant. Pet them under the chin, not over the head. Reaching over can feel dominant or threatening to a little guy. Ideally, do your greetings outside so the leaks hit the grass. Long term, you want to build their confidence. Use positive reinforcement and enrichment training to boost them up. If an accident happens, clean it up without a word. Don't make a scene. Just avoid causing stress. Always use a high-quality enzymatic cleaner to kill the pheromones. You gotta stop them from marking that spot again.
Luckily, most POMs grow out of this as they get older and get better muscle control. But if it keeps happening into adulthood, see a vet to rule out medical stuff like ectopic ureters. People always ask me about bladder control duration. A lot of owners use the month-to-hour ratio. Even the big kennel clubs use this formula. The idea is simple. A 2-month-old puppy can wait 2 hours. A 4-month-old might last 4 hours. It sounds great on paper, but here's the thing. Pomeranians are a toy breed. They have exceptionally small bladders and crazy high metabolisms. So individual results are going to vary a lot. That rule becomes pretty unreliable once the dog passes the 9-month mark. An adult POM typically shouldn't be forced to hold it longer than 6 to 8 hours. Even if they physically can, it's not nice. Keep in mind these numbers are loose estimates. They aren't rigid scientific facts. It's always safer to offer your POM more trips outside than the knack suggests. While age sets the baseline, other stuff plays a huge role.
Sleep is a big one. Dogs can usually wait longer at night because their metabolism slows down. Urine production drops while they're sleeping. Then you've got activity. High-energy play sessions wake up their digestive system. That will always necessitate a quick potty break. Diet and hydration matter too. A set feeding routine helps you predict when they need to go. The gastrocolic reflex usually strikes right after a meal. You can also manage hydration by pulling the water bowl 2 hours before bed. Watch their health closely. A sudden shift in habits could mean a medical problem. If they start peeing frequently or in small amounts, see a vet immediately. You need to check for things like a UTI or bladder stones. A dog's capacity to hold it depends on health, diet, and activity. The month-to-hour formula is just a rough starting point. Prioritize frequent breaks over watching the clock. Success comes from being proactive, not reactive. Get them out before they hit their breaking point to avoid discomfort and health risks. Housebreaking is hands down the hardest part of owning a puppy. It isn't a straightforward task like teaching sit. It's a multifaceted challenge. You are fighting against biology here. You have to communicate clearly across a species barrier, and you have to maintain absolute consistency. Potty training is tough because it clashes with your puppy's instincts. It fights their developing physiology. First off, they have no concept of indoors. A puppy is programmed to go whenever the urge strikes. They have no built-in idea of indoor etiquette. To them, a rug is just as good as grass. Plus, they lack the neurological maturity to hold their bladder. Then there are surface preferences. Toy breeds like POMs develop these fast. If they have a few accidents on a soft carpet, that's it. They decide that texture is their bathroom. It takes hundreds of reps to rewrite that instinct. POMs are also stealthy. Because they're small and light, they can sneak behind a sofa. They urinate without you hearing or seeing it. That's way harder to catch than a big dog. In the end, success depends on your dedication. You have to be patient, vigilant, and consistent. This process is physically and mentally draining. It demands 100% supervision. You must have your eyes on your puppy constantly. Use a crate or a tether if you can't watch them. The schedule is grueling, I know. It requires trips outside after every nap, meal, and playtime. That interrupts your work or your relaxation. And yeah, it includes those exhausting middle-of-the-night trips. You have to scrub every accident with an enzymatic cleaner. You must destroy the pheromones that attract them back. Simply put, potty training is a marathon of consistency. It challenges your patience, but trust that your bright Pomeranian will learn. House training is basically the first huge hurdle you're going to face as a new owner. And let's be honest, it's a total grind. I wish I could give you a magic date where it all just clicks, but that doesn't exist. Every single dog figures this stuff out at their own pace.
It is a long, twisty road, and yeah, you're gonna wanna pull your hair out sometimes. With a Pom, you gotta be realistic. We're talking 4 to 6 months just to get them reasonably reliable. But if you want that totally trustworthy, I don't need to watch you like a hawk status, that could take 8 months, maybe even a full year. See, these little guys are way harder to housebreak than a golden retriever or a lab. It's biology. They have super fast metabolisms and tiny little tanks inside them. Now, this timeline isn't set in stone because a few things can mess it up. First off, temperament. Some Poms are stubborn as mules, while others actually want to make you happy. Then there's the weather. Pomeranians are divas about their paws. They hate the wet and the cold. So if you're training in winter or during a rainy season, good luck, because expect it to take longer since they will fight you on going outside. But the biggest factor? That's you. Your consistency is the single most important thing here. You have to stick to a schedule that's stricter than the military. You need to watch them every second and pay up with rewards instantly. That speeds everything up. So look, you'll see big changes in the first few months, but don't get bummed out if your Pom isn't perfect by 6 months old. Regression happens, usually right when they hit those rebellious teenage months. Just remember, getting to that reliable, worry-free life is a marathon, not a sprint. Positive reinforcement is the best way to train a dog, period. It's humane, it works, and science backs it up. This is double true for a spicy, sensitive little breed like a Pom. The bigwigs at the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior say we should strictly use rewards. Why? Because harsh, scary stuff causes real psychological damage. The American Kennel Club agrees that positive reinforcement should be the foundation of everything. Even the Humane Society calls it a powerful tool. So think of it like your dog's paycheck. You show up to work for a salary, right? Well, your dog is way more likely to do their business outside if they get paid for it. But here is the catch. For potty training to actually work, the paycheck has to be good, like really good. I'm talking high-value treats here. Use tiny bits of boiled chicken, maybe some cheese, or freeze-dried liver. Save the good stuff exclusively for outdoor potty success. Do not give it to them for anything else. And timing? Timing is everything. You have to deliver that treat immediately. I mean, within 2 seconds of them finishing. If you wait until you walk back inside, you blew it. They'll think they're getting paid for walking through the door, not for peeing on the grass. Then you throw a party. Combine that treat with happy, high-pitched praise. Patience and consistency. These are the twin pillars of success. And let's be real, these are requirements for you, not the pet. Housebreaking is a huge commitment. It takes time, especially with a breed this spunky and high energy. Remember what I said about biology? Because they are so small, Poms have incredibly tiny bladders. They have higher metabolisms than the big dogs. That means they physically cannot hold it as long as you think they can. Some puppies just need way more repetition to connect the urge with the right spot. Pomeranians are smart as a whip, but they don't learn overnight. You are going to hit obstacles. It's inevitable, but you cannot let yourself get frustrated. Dogs are empathetic sponges. They sense your stress instantly. If you are frustrated, your puppy gets anxious, and anxiety kills learning. Stay patient. Stick to your routine like glue to get those long-term results. And this is crucial. Everyone in the house has to follow the exact same rules. If you say outside only, but your partner puts down a pee pad, that mixed message will confuse the puppy and stall your progress for weeks. Training is a developmental journey. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Every puppy is unique and on their own timeline. Now, there's a general rule of thumb people talk about. They say a puppy can hold it for 1 hour for every month of age, +1. But honestly, toy breeds often can't make it that long, so don't bank on that math. The foundation of a good result is your unwavering patience. The energy you put into raising a well-behaved dog will pay off huge later. Make sure to celebrate the little victories. Did they give you a signal at the door? Celebrate that with great enthusiasm. Training is an ongoing dialogue. It's not a final exam you pass once. Your dedication is going to result in a smart, loving, and clean companion for years to come. Listen, I've seen it all, and usually we are the problem. We're going to talk about the top 10 ways owners accidentally sabotage potty training, especially with a spirited little firecracker like a Pomeranian. Avoiding these pitfalls is honestly half the battle won. First off, stop punishing accidents. Seriously, never scold your Pom for a mess, especially if you didn't catch them in the literal act. If you yell, you aren't teaching them not to poop inside. You're just teaching them to be stealth poopers. They'll just find a dark closet or hide behind the sofa because you've become the scary, unpredictable monster. It doesn't fix the behavior, it just wrecks their trust in you. Then there's the schedule issue. Your Pom is clever, but he physically needs a routine to regulate that tiny digestive system. If meals happen at random times, the bathroom breaks are going to be random too. It's impossible for them to grasp the concept of holding it if they can't predict when the door is going to open. Let's talk about freedom. Giving a tiny, untrained puppy full run of the house is just inviting failure. A big house is overwhelming, and it's full of secret spots to have an accident. You're basically giving them endless opportunities to practice the wrong behavior. You have to shrink their world to a small success zone until they prove they're reliable. Now, when they do miss, how are you cleaning it? Household cleaners or ammonia stuff? Useless. You need a specific enzymatic cleaner, or your dog's sensitive nose will pick up that uric acid like a neon sign. Even if you can't smell it, they can, and it screams, "This is an approved bathroom spot." Be careful with potty pads too. They're convenient, sure, but they can teach a confusing lesson. To a Pom, a pee pad feels a lot like a plush bath mat or an expensive rug. It makes the transition to going outside way harder later on. You gotta check your reward system. A dry, boring, good dog isn't enough motivation for a high-drive Pom. You need to throw a party with high-value treats, like tiny bits of chicken or cheese, the instant they finish outdoors. You have about 3 seconds to make the connection, or you've lost the moment. Another big error is confusing potty time with playtime. If you start playing before they actually go, they'll get distracted and forget. Then they'll walk back inside, the adrenaline drops, and boom, accident on the carpet. Keep business time boring until the deed is done. Also, watch their signals. Poms are low to the ground, so they might not scratch the door. They might just spin or sniff a corner. Missing that subtle cue is a communication failure on your part. Finally, don't use the crate as a jail cell, and don't panic when they regress at 6 months old. It's just their brain remodeling. Go back to basics and be patient. You gotta look past the fluff for a second to really get this dog. Your Pomeranian might look like a lapdog, but he descends from the hardy spit sled dogs of the Arctic. Seriously, he's got the DNA of a wolf in a handbag-sized package. He was bred down in size, sure, but he kept all the boldness and independence of his ancestors. The whole design was meant to be a loyal, vocal watchdog and a sidekick to humans. That lineage is exactly why your dog has such a spirited personality. It explains why they are so intensely attached to you and why they walk around with a big dog ego. While he loves your luxury sofa, the soul of a feisty Spitz is very much alive in there. Here's the cool part. That heritage actually helps with potty training if you use it right. Spitz breeds are naturally fastidious clean freaks. They prefer to keep their living quarters clean, so you can leverage that instinct. The best approach is to use their desire for attention rather than trying to crush their spirit. You have to channel that intelligence. Because they are smart, they will manipulate you. like barking just to get you to open the door. So you have to be the benevolent leader. To handle separation anxiety, you must prove to them that being alone is safe. Start slow, reward calmness, and make sure they get enough mental challenges. Use puzzle toys and maybe even trick training to satisfy their need to work. They want to be on a team with you. For a breed that can easily get small dog syndrome, socialization isn't just a suggestion, it's non-negotiable. Exposing them to the world early is your best defense against having a yappy, fearful biter. A well-socialized Pom turns into a cool, poised companion who knows the difference between a real threat and a vacuum cleaner. This actually impacts potty training huge time. Think about it. A fearful dog won't pee outside because they feel vulnerable. If they're terrified of traffic noise or the wind, they'll hold it until they are back inside their safe fortress. You need to introduce them to new faces and sounds with a lot of positivity. Carry them around to safe spots so they can see the world without getting trampled. Let them observe sights and sounds without overwhelming them. But listen, stay away from dog parks for now. That's uncontrolled chaos. Wait until they are fully vaccinated and have a solid recall. Make a checklist of noises: vacuums, doorbells, sirens, trucks. You have to prevent them from becoming fearful tyrants. You want to shape that natural alertness into quiet confidence. It's about curating happy encounters, not flooding them with stress. Be your puppy's advocate. Don't let strangers just grab them. You have a small window in the first few months to get this right, so make it count. Before that fluff ball walks through the door, you need to get your gear sorted. Preparation stops the panic. Get premium small breed puppy food. Better quality means better digestion and firmer stools, which you will appreciate. Get some shallow bowls and a crate that fits properly. It should be a sanctuary, not a cavern. If the crate is too big, they'll sleep in one corner and use the other as a toilet, and we don't want that. Buy a harness because their tracheas are delicate. Never attach a leash to a Pom's collar. And get a tag with your info on it immediately. You'll also need durable chew toys and puzzles to keep that busy brain from finding trouble. You have to prep the house to protect your stuff and the puppy. Puppy-proof like you're crazy. Hide the electrical wires, lock up the toxins, and block off those tiny gaps under the cabinets. Poms can squeeze into impossible spots. Check your fence line too, because they can slip through very small holes. Indoors, set up a strict puppy zone with gates so you can supervise them. If you can't watch them 100%, they go in the pen. Pick a bathroom spot outside before you even bring them home and take them there every single time. Those first weeks are all about routine. Set a timetable for eating, sleeping, and potty breaks immediately. The first year is the most important time for shaping a dog that you actually want to live with. To help you out, the AKC has these two awesome programs, Star Puppy and Canine Good Citizen. These act like a structured curriculum to force you to be disciplined with training. Star Puppy is the starting line. It stands for socialization, training, activity, and responsibility. It's not just a pass-fail test. It's a 6-week course with an evaluator. It focuses on 20 skills, and for a Pom, it's great because it teaches them to focus on you even when the world is distracting. Then you've got the Canine Good Citizen, or CGC. This is the gold standard for a dog that knows how to act in public. It highlights your dedication and the dog's manners. To get the title, the dog has to pass a 10-skill test. They have to show they can be cool around strangers, walk through a crowd without freaking out, and ignore other dogs. It's open to any dog, and it's a respected credential. These programs are a journey. They give you a ladder to climb, overseen by pros, to prove that you're raising a polite, well-adjusted canine partner.